Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Joining me once again is fellow blogger and YouTube pooper, Daniel Guzman.
Hello folks, it's good to be here with Joshua once again with another blog.
So anyway, today we're going to go back to a Disney smash hit that just reached its 25th anniversary, The Lion King.
25 years? Time sure does fly.
So, anyway, as I said while blogging The Lion King 1.5 a few years ago, we all know that this classic Disney film is such an amazing animal take on Shakespeare's Hamlet. And over the years, it's gained a huge cult following.
Not only did it get 2 sequels and 2 TV shows, but it's also gained a Broadway show.
Also, the movie managed to gain an IMAX screening in 2002 and a 3D re-release in 2011.
And just recently coming off the Dumbo and Aladdin remakes, The Lion King had become a live-action movie.
But, question is, how does this compare with its 1994 animated counterpart? Well, we're about to find out. Released on July 19th, 2019, the movie is The Lion King 2019. So, let's get started. Simba idolizes his father, King Mufasa, and takes it to his heart his own royal destiny on the plains of Africa. But not everyone in the kingdom celebrates the new cub's arrival. Scar, Mufasa's brother and former heir to the throne, has plans of his own. The battle for Pride Rock is soon ravaged with betrayal, tragedy, and drama, ultimately resulting in Simba's exile. Now, with help from a curious pair of newfound friends, Simba must figure out how to grow up and take back what's rightfully his. So, what do we think of it? Well, I believe it was pretty good and very realistic, but it doesn't change my feelings for the original.
I thought that it was also good, and also one of the best remakes around, but I'll always love the 1994 animated classic.
But to further explain why we enjoy this movie, let's move on to Mustang Notes. On September 28, 2016, Walt Disney Pictures confirmed that Jon Favreau, who previously directed the 2016 Jungle Book remake, would be directing a remake of the 1994 animated film The Lion King, which would feature the songs from the 1994 film. Following a string of recent box office successes on the other Disney live-action remake films, such as Maleficent, Cinderella, Favreau's The Jungle Book, and Beauty and the Beast, with the latter 3 also earning critical praise. On October 13, 2016, it was reported that Disney had hired Jeff Nathanson to write the screenplay for the remake, with the story written by Brenda Chapman, who was the original film's head of story.
In November, Favreau said the virtual cinematography technology he used in The Jungle Book would be used to a greater degree in The Lion King. Although the media reported The Lion King to be a live-action film, it actually utilizes photorealistic, computer-generated animation. Disney also did not describe it as live-action, only stating it would follow the technologically groundbreaking approach of The Jungle Book. While the film acts as a remake of the 1994 animated film, Favreau was inspired by the Broadway adaptation of the film for certain aspects of the remake's plot, particularly Nala and Sarabi's roles. Favreau also aimed to develop his own take on the original film's story, with what he said was the spectacle of a BBC wildlife documentary.
This movie serves as the final credit for film editor Mark Livosi, who died in September 2018. The film is dedicated to his memory. Also, principal production began in mid-2017 on a blue screen stage in Los Angeles. With an estimated budget of around $260 million, it is one of the most expensive films ever made. And so far, the movie has grossed over $1 billion worldwide, becoming the fourth highest grossing movie of 2019, and the fifth highest grossing animated film, as well as the 33rd highest grossing film of all time. So, what do we think of the virtual reality effects? Well, to me, the visuals of the movie look very realistic and very beautiful, almost like it came from one of those National Geographic documentaries on TV. Also, the animals in this movie look great too, though they don't really show too much emotions. But then again, it's realistic animal logic, so what are you going to do?
The environments are well designed, such as the Pride Land Savannah, Elephant Graveyard, Pride Rock, as well as the desert, the gorge, and especially the jungle. The animated locations in the animated film come to life.
Now, there are some other parts of the movie we need to mention. For example, there are more animals in the jungle aside from Timon and Pumbaa, and the hyena ambushes and wildebeest stampede are very intense. However, the scene that shows a piece of Simba's mane going to Rafiki's tree kind of drags a bit. Plus, there's a poop joke. Like in the original, the music and songs were done by Sir Elton John and Tim Rice, who also collaborated for the Disney Broadway show Aida. And in our opinion, most of these classic songs stay true to their original counterparts. For example, Circle of Life starts out pretty much the same as in the original with Lebo M's vocals, but the majority of the song is sung by Brown Ledaway McKinsey. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But no matter what version, this song will always give you goosebumps for how powerful it is.
I Just Can't Wait to Be King may not be a visually colorful as the original, and it is choreographed differently, but it's still funny with all the antics that Zazu gets into while chasing Simba and Nala around the watering hole.
Scar's villain song, Be Prepared, acts more like a villainous speech than a song. Hakuna Matata isn't that much different, except for the fact that Pumbaa uncensors the word farted, and Timon does not stop him. Plus, Pumbaa's backstory makes him look younger compared to the original.
During Can You Feel the Love Tonight, the setting is during the middle of the day, and the romantic moment is portrayed differently. And plus, Timon and Pumbaa didn't cry at the end.
Now let's talk about the new songs, starting with Spirit, sung by Nala while Simba is heading home to the Pride Lands. To us, this song has a very gospel-like vibe, and Beyonce Knowles' singing is just so beautiful. The other song to talk about is Never Too Late, sung by Elton John himself. And in our opinion, this song has a very encouraging message, and the background chorus has a very catchy beat to it. Now let's move on to the characters and their voice actors.
Our main character, Simba, is voiced by Donald Glover, whom last year played Lando in Solo. As a cub, he is voiced by J.D. McCrary. As a cub, he's overconfident and curious, which leads him and Nala into trouble. But as a full-grown lion, not only does Simba look strong and brave, but he has to learn to let go of his past mistake, which in reality wasn't his fault, and must accept his future role as king.
Simba's best friend and love interest, Nala, is voiced by Beyonce Knowles, who got to be in Blue Sky's Epic, the 2006 Pink Panther movie, and Austin Powers' Goldmember. As a cub, she's voiced by Shahadi Wright Joseph, who previously played her in the Broadway show. Now that's pretty cool. Anyway, to us, Nala is a tad spirited when she plays with Simba, but when she became a lioness, she's very cautious when escaping Pride Rock, and she's very determined to get Simba to accept his responsibility. Next we have Simba's father, King Mufasa, once again voiced by James Earl Jones, best known as Darth Vader from the original Star Wars trilogy.
To us, Mufasa is very wise, and plus, James Earl Jones does a great performance, even if his voice is a tad different.
Also, the only thing a little bit disappointing about this portrayal of Mufasa is, well, his ghost doesn't look very clear compared to the animated version. I mean, clouds can take up any shape they want, but when it comes to Mufasa, it could have been done so much better.
Simba's mom, Sarabi, is voiced by Alfred Woodard, who got to voice in Disney's Dinosaur, The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue, and the Wild Thornberrys movie. To us, Sarabi has more character development compared to the animated version. And plus, she's very strong-willed when she turns down Scar's enthronement to be his queen.
Mufasa's major domo, Zazu, is voiced by John Oliver, who voiced Vanity Smurf in the 2 live-action Smurfs movies and in Nickelodeon's Wonder Park. To us, Zazu is pretty similar to his animated counterpart. I mean, yes, he does act as Simba and Nala's guardian, as well as Mufasa's scout. However, unlike in the original, Zazu does not get locked up in a bone cage during Scar's reign. Instead, he takes refuge at Rafiki's tree, and he does help Nala escape Pride Rock. Next we have Timon and Pumbaa, voiced by Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen.
Like in the original, these guys are the funniest characters ever. Heck, they're even funnier in live action than they are in the animated movie. Sure, they save Simba from becoming buzzard food, and they teach him about Hakuna Matata, and also how to eat bugs.
Plus, they do get to sing a full rendition of The Lion Sleeps Tonight, which unfortunately gets interrupted by Nala. But the funniest thing they do is sing Be Our Guest to distract the hyenas, as well as the part when Pumbaa kicks the hyenas after being called chubby. Man.
Next, we have the shaman of the Pride Lands, Rafiki, voiced by John Caney, best known as King T'Chaka from Captain America, Civil War, and Black Panther. Now, this wise baboon doesn't really add much compared to the original, but it is interesting that he has insect helpers for his tree designs. Also, what's disappointing is that he doesn't really say his chant, which says, if you're a baboon and he's not, and plus he barely even uses his stick in the movie.
Our next character is Simba's evil uncle Scar, voiced by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who got to be in Doctor Strange, Sherlock Gnomes, the terrible 2012 film, and this October, he'll be in Maleficent's upcoming sequel. Makes me scared to find out how that film will be like.
Anyway, despite the fact that his villain song was weak, he still is a very threatening lion, and plus he's very manipulative when persuading Simba to roar in the gorge, and plus the part where Scar swipes at Mufasa before letting him fall to his death was way more intense than in the original. And also, Scar is power hungry when trying to get Sarabi to be his queen.
Finally, we have Scar's hyena henchman, Shenzi, along with Kamari and Azizi, voiced by Florence Kazumba, Keegan-Michael Kay, and Eric Andre. In this version, Shenzi seems more vicious and serious compared to Whoopi Goldberg's portrayal. Plus, she mentions that the hyenas and the lions have been at war since the beginning of time. As for the other two, well, they seem like bumbling idiots who behave like inseparable Siamese twins. And now for our final words. Overall, this new version of The Lion King, despite a few flaws and differences, it's still very good. The environment is very beautiful. The animals look and behave like real animals. Plus, several of the characters and songs are very reminiscent to the original movie.
While some remakes are hit or miss, this movie is enjoyable, exciting, and a decent tribute to the original film. Sure, it may not be the same, but it's worth a watch if you have fond memories from the animated classic.
So together, we give this film a 92% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. I'd like to thank Daniel for joining me today.
Well, I'd also like to thank you for having me here on this episode.
My pleasure, man. As for the rest of you at home, be sure to join me again next time as I head into another jungle-themed movie.
Oh.
Mustang Power.